From the cold weather he's talking about to holiday decorations, the changes that come this time of year can certainly be tricky for your pet. This morning we have John Nowinski of the Connecticut Emergency Animal Response Services here to talk about how to keep your furry friend safe this winter. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And for bringing your pooch, who's a lot better behaved than my dog.
Yeah, Connecticut Husky, so we think he's fitting for this time of year.
He
and
is. So talk to us. Let's start with dogs, since you brought a dog here. What is it that's the great concern for dogs this time of year?
Well, I mean, any time of year, dogs have to go outside, of course.
Yep.
So, you know, this time of year, they can suffer from the same things that people can suffer from, as far as, you know, getting outside, getting too cold, things like that. But they also have fur coats, so they also tend to track a lot of that inside. And one of the things owners tend to forget is that when their pet comes in from inside, you know, as a person, you take your jacket off, things like that. Pets can't do that. So it's a good idea to make sure that they're protected from their fur, keeping things out of it that they might ingest accidentally that could cause toxicity. Things like road salt, simple aspects like that. You know, chemicals that are on the ground. You know, a lot of people use pet-friendly products at their own houses, but forget that their dogs are walking up and down the streets, things are getting mixed in there. So even with something like a husky that's sort of made for outside, you have to worry about that fur coat as well, and just making sure it's clear of any chemicals or things like that.
Oh, okay, so what do? Check their paws and as you do, check for ticks?
Yeah, exactly. So we suggest, you know, everybody should at least have some kind of a covering on their dog, because it's the easiest thing to pull off when they come in, just like we have a jacket. If you have a big dog, you can have a lighter coat. It doesn't need to necessarily be, you know, keep warm. It's just to keep the things off of their fur. But we also suggest everybody always have near their front doors basically a sort of microfiber washcloth. There's pet-friendly ones like this that can basically be used to very quickly wipe them off, gets all the moisture right off really quickly, doesn't worry about leaving a lot behind.
Okay, and what about cats? Some people have cats.
Yeah, well, cats this time of year, the biggest danger is really the toxicity issue. The holiday time is coming, people are coming in and out of the house. There's also new things coming in. Cats always want to explore new things. So a lot of things that we see are cats that have gotten into ribbons, for example, from wrapping, or gotten into exploring too much of the presents and starting to get into them and eating things and ingesting things. That can cause foreign body issues, all kinds of issues. So making sure that if you are wrapping things, you're keeping your pets away from it, especially if you have curious cats. You know, things like Christmas trees, making sure that any, you know, potential hazards from those are kept away from the cats. Cats tend to go for warmer areas inside, so Christmas trees are a big, you know, attractant to them. You know, they feel the warmth from the lights and things like that, so they tend to get too close to them.
You know, and I often wonder, is it still okay to leave your pet for the day? If they're good normally roaming around the home, when you bring in some of these new decorations, should you still let them be as, you know, as they normally would, or should extra precaution be taken?
Most dogs and cats are pretty good if they're regularly at home, especially if they've gone through the seasons a couple of times. If you have newer pets, you know, the acclimation might be a little bit, you know, slower. So you want to keep an eye on what they're doing when you're home. You know, they don't really wait for you to go away to get, you know, too curious. So if they're, you know, getting into things while you're there, then you might want to, you know, consider at least closing an area off from them. You know, baby gates are a good option for that too. If you have a living room where everything's set up, you know, and you don't have doors, you can, you know, basically sort of gate them off a little bit.
Excellent. John Nowinski, great advice you brought with you today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same to you.